Hey, how's it going, class? My name's Kyle, and I'm currently a second lieutenant at Shepherd Air Force Base here in Texas. I'm waiting to start pilot training, which I start in March. So right now, I have some time on my hands. That's why I'm starting some master's classes. I did my undergrad at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona, where I focused on intelligence and global security. And with this master's degree, I'm doing it in intelligence with a focus on leadership. That's why I'm doing this leadership class. I was born and raised in Northern California, about 30 minutes east of the San Francisco Bay Area, and decided that I wanted to pursue the military out of high school. So after high school, I applied to the Air Force Academy as well as the Naval Academy and the Coast Guard Academy. I got into the Coast Guard Academy, did not get into the Air Force Academy or the Naval Academy, and decided, I'll give it my best shot. It's not the Air Force, which was my original plan, but it's still a service academy. It's still a good opportunity, and I still potentially would have the opportunity to fly. So I went to the Coast Guard Academy, went through their 7-week swab summer, went through a semester there, and decided, the Coast Guard is just not for me. It's not my long-term goal. And so I had a choice to make. Do I leave the Coast Guard Academy knowing that I had such a great opportunity that was, was covering my education as Federal Service Academy, which is, a lot of people would, give a lot to be able to be a part of those. And I decided, I'm just going to leave, going to take the risk, and I'm going to pursue my actual goal of becoming an Air Force pilot. So I left not really knowing what the next step was. As I said before, I didn't get in the Air Force Academy, so I wasn't really sure, what my options were going to be. But I decided if I hadn't left after that semester, I would likely regret it down the road, not pursuing my true goal and dream of becoming an Air Force pilot. So I left, gave it a semester, got my private pilot's license just to make sure I was really, truly passionate about flying. Realized that I was, and then I was able to apply to ROTC at Embry-Riddle down in Prescott, Arizona. Did 4 years there, commissioned as a second lieutenant this last May, and I'm now here at Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training at Shepherd Air Force Base. And like I said before, I'm waiting to start in March. So definitely glad to be here, definitely glad to be able to start my master's in the meantime before I actually start pilot training. The goal is to fly the F-16, and so I'm definitely looking forward to starting training. But I think the lesson I learned just from my journey of getting here is just that sometimes, things can be uncertain, not really sure what's going to happen next, but the most important thing is that you realize what you're passionate about and you take the risk of pursuing what you're passionate about, and not necessarily taking the easy or the safe road, the road that looks like it's all planned out and it's smooth sailing. Sometimes it's worth it to take risk, not necessarily knowing how it's going to end, but if it does end in your favor, it's definitely worth it. And even if it doesn't end in your favor, it's always going to be something where you can learn, and you can learn through just how you go about life. And so that's exactly what happened. And like I said, glad to be here, glad to take this class with you guys, and looking forward to getting to know you guys over the course of these next 8 weeks. So thank you.